I remember I was admitted to a 12-step inpatient. It was a 3-week long program. It was a place called the Friary. Those 3 weeks were the longest 3 weeks of my life. I was on a 10-day Subutex step down, and they took you off of it while you were there in the program. But then when you are getting ready to leave, they then say, well, we want you on either Suboxone, Rivia, or Vivitrol when you leave. My parents were like, no, reality check. When you're done with treatment, you're done with everything. We don't want you on anything. And especially since they didn't know that I had relapsed in treatment. They didn't know that I had probably at like the halfway point of my program there was still shooting Dilaudid and heroin. I remember I spent probably half the time in that program crying or using. So it was rough, but they told me that they'd found this place. It was close by. They, was non-12-step. It was like a spa. It was really fancy. They did biofeedback. They did neurofeedback, and I didn't know what any of that meant. And I remember my mom just tried to sell it to me like it was a spa. And I said, I don't care about a spa. I said, I want a life. The one outing that I had gotten in that facility, I used to come and tour this one. And I remember I was walking around the building. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool. All right, sauna, nice. I mean, I would not have come here if it had not been for Reed. After we had done the tour and everything, he and I had this conversation. And he wasn't selling anything. I just felt this innate draw. I was sucked in. And I remember just, like I said, I was still in detox. Like when I got here, I was still pretty resistive to be here. Was not a very happy camper. And I remember calling my mom, I told her, I was just like, I think I'm in the right place. And she's like, really? And all she could do was just listen to me. And I was just like, I feel like I'm gonna find me here. And she didn't really know what that meant, but all she could do was spin it off and talk about how it was relevant to her. And she's just like, well, I'm so glad, Sarah. She's like, ever since I left and I've dropped you off there, she's like, I just feel like I can breathe. She's like, I know you're safe. I was like, I think I'm gonna be fine, Mom. I was like, I think I'm gonna be fine. And it just, I knew before I even really knew that I was gonna be able to reconnect to not just who I am, but what I am.